What's up, y'all? I'm just getting ready for a 2-day strategy session. When we do our 2-day strategy session, it focuses on looking back for the year and looking forward. Today's focus is on project management. So I thought I would bring you a couple project management tips to support you and your teams in your execution. You can, of course, read more about it. Just Google any of the terms that I talk about. But I think that if you incorporate these, it'll make you better executors of your plan. So number one, most important idea that I think in project management is the idea of the critical path. Like, how fast can you get your project done? What are the dependencies that it relies on? So one of the examples I looked up is if you're trying to make a sandwich, you can have the ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato, but if you don't have the bread is the biggest dependency. That's like the foundation of the sandwich. So however long it takes you to get the bread is the shortest time that you can take to build your sandwich. So as part of looking at the critical path, best practice, earliest start, earliest finish, if you really want to incorporate that best practice, and then talk about the dependencies that any of those projects have. Most people, when they build 1, 2, 3 year plan, there's scaffolding that has to happen as part of their planning, but they don't always talk about the dependencies. You don't need to do that. You can kind of get away with it otherwise, but if you are wanting to have best practice for project management, do that. What most people think about work breakdown structure, if you have a big project, what are all of the tasks? I encourage you not to get kind of lost in the sauce in terms of work breakdown structure, but for the purposes of a strategic plan, stay high level, but also have the place to look at, hey, what are all of the components that go into these projects so that we can make sure that we're not missing anything. Scoping as part of a project is critical because it's very easy to get overboard with a scope. It's also easy to miss things. Likelier you'll go overboard, I would bet, on smaller projects and miss something on bigger projects. And the last one is timing. How long will each of these pieces of work take? Often people think of like setting a deadline. When do I want to do this by? They don't think about the time required in hours, days, weeks, so that you can say, hey, if I have a 100-hour project and I have 10 hours a month to work on it, it's going to take me almost a year, assuming no slack. So if you can consider, how long things take, you'll better resource. If you can think of how fast you can do it based on the critical path, you'll have better expectations. And then if you have a work breakdown structure and dependencies, it'll help you bring best practice to understanding all the nuance of getting that project to life. Feel free to Google any of these. Hopefully it helps you make better projects, better execution, and ultimately get to your vision. Appreciate you watching. If you liked it, be sure to share with your team, like, subscribe, do all the things. I'm grateful for you being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Take good care.